Today, I want to reveal the truth about a few of the biggest myths behind America's #1 killer, heart disease. Here's what you really need to know. It could save your life. So let's kick things off with a little myth busting, shall we? It's one of my favorite things to do. Let me start off with this largely ignored point. The health of your heart and arteries and the prevention of a heart attack or stroke is a far more complex issue than mainstream medicine wants you to believe. With that being said, there are a few crucial facts I want you to know. Fact 1. Preventing or reversing heart disease is not a battle between good HDL cholesterol versus bad LDL cholesterol. It's not even about total cholesterol. There are far more important markers of heart health than cholesterol. Fact 2. Natural therapies can prevent and reverse heart and arterial damage without risky side effects. Fact 3. And here's perhaps the most crucial fact about your cardiovascular system. Inflammation plays a huge role in your overall risk. Let me explain. In itself, inflammation is a good thing. It's how your body protects itself and how it heals itself. Without it, wounds and infections would never get better. So anytime you injure yourself or are exposed to some sort of infection, your immune system responds by sending out substances called inflammatory markers. Histamine and cytokines are probably the most well known. These inflammatory mediators increase blood flow. They also allow more white blood cells to get through your blood vessel walls to the site of the infection or injury. All of this is absolutely necessary for your body to heal. But in the process, it can also cause redness, fever, swelling, and pain. This sort of response is known as acute inflammation, and it generally goes away on its own within a few days at the most, but when it doesn't go away, it results in something called chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation is at the root of cardiovascular disease. Here's why. Everyday risk factors for arterial disease like sugar, trans fats and processed foods, stress, or smoking injure your arterial wall. Inflammatory mediators rush there, and because the injury is near constant, they stay there. This chronic inflammation damages artery walls, giving them a rough surface, and that gives a foothold for plaque to then latch onto. Then the plaque continues to build up, which narrows arteries, preventing blood from flowing freely. In turn, your blood pressure goes up, and your risk of potentially fatal blood clots, which cause most heart attacks and stroke, goes up too. That's why decreasing inflammation is a critical part of improving your heart and overall health. The fact is, inflammation is the smoking gun behind cardiovascular disease and most of the other leading causes of death in this country, like diabetes and Alzheimer's. More than 175 million Americans suffer from some form of chronic inflammation. In fact, I'd go so far as to say inflammation is a full-on crisis, and decreasing it should be priority number 1. But as complicated as the inflammatory process is, keeping it under control is actually quite simple. There are 6 quick ways to get a jump on this silent killer. Number 1, eat antioxidants and polyphenols. These compounds mop up free radicals, rogue molecules that trigger inflammation and leave behind a path of destruction. You need your body to deal with free radicals before they have a chance to overwhelm your system. And the phytochemicals in veggies and fruits, like broccoli, kale, collards, and berries, are essential to this function. Number 2, choose the right fats. Omega-6 fats from refined vegetable oils, chips, and baked goods promote inflammation and fat storage. Omega-3 fats from foods like cold water fish, chia seeds, and walnuts are anti-inflammatory. I also recommend supplementing with fish oil. And this is very important. Be sure to choose a supplement with 3,000 milligrams of the essential fatty acids EPA and DHA, not just 3,000 milligrams of fish oil. So always be sure to check the back of the bottle to see how much EPA and DHA content your fish oil contains. Number 3, add spices. Turmeric, garlic, cinnamon, cayenne, pepper, ginger, Practically every spice you can think of carries research-supported benefits against inflammation. You simply can't use too many. Number 4, exercise. Not too little, not too much. The science of exercise is probably moving faster than the science of nutrition. And at least for now, moderation is still king. I recommend you get your heart pumping for 150 minutes a week. That's just 20 minutes a day. Number 5, de-stress. When it comes to inflammation, the stress hormone cortisol is like gasoline on a fire. You need to keep your levels of this hormone under control. Whether you opt for yoga, meditation, or just something simple like listening to music or reading, find ways to incorporate some quiet downtime into your day. However, downtime may not be enough to lower your cortisol levels. It could be adrenal fatigue instead, which is also linked to high blood pressure or hypertension. So be sure to talk to your doctor about your options to test for these conditions. Number 6, sleep. 7 to 8 hours a night is the sweet spot according to most studies. Much less or more is a recipe for disaster. So now we've established that inflammation is the real cause of heart disease and cardiovascular issues. I want to address another concern that many of my patients have, and it's one that their doctors have told them is the root cause of their issues.